Welcome back to I've recently been kidnapped and held against my will. On this week's installment, Donkey Kong has been calling me out, basically calling me a bitch for being kidnapped by Nintendo in the first place, but here's what I have to say to that. At least I'm actually remembered enough to be kidnapped. That's the whole point of it. You bitch. You shut the hell up, ape, alright? What was the last mainline game you had? And Tropical Freeze on Switch doesn't count, you know that. No, man, I didn't mean it like that. Listen, you got some pretty good games, and if it wasn't for Metroid, you'd be the least remembered franchise in Nintendo history. Oh shit, I didn't even know you were here with us, too. Cast of the Unrememberables.
Donkey Kong is one of Nintendo's longest living franchises, even predating Super Mario by around 4 years. Many of you probably already knew that Donkey Kong started out as an arcade game by Nintendo in 1981, with one good sequel to follow and another that no one talks about. Aside from ports to the original arcade games on home consoles, the Donkey Kong franchise would start to fall into obscurity in the late 80s. Until 1994, that is, when Rare would release the first installment of the Donkey Kong Country series on Super Nintendo. This game single-handedly brought new life into the Donkey Kong franchise and is one of the reasons why Donkey Kong as a game series is so highly regarded and is one of my personal favorites.
I've had enough of your shit, Donkey Kong. I'm gonna make my way home just to prove you wrong.
God damn it! Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I?
Donkey Kong Country is a Super Nintendo 2D platformer during the era of genre and franchise-defining games. The Super Nintendo's game lineup is one of the best you will ever come across in gaming history, and Donkey Kong Country is no exception. As far as story goes, the Kremlins, ruled by King K. Rool, steal the Kong's banana horde. Now, it's up to you to murder all of them to get the bananas back. Again, pretty standard story, villain steals your shit, you murder them and their henchmen to get said shit back. Again, story's not a platformer's forte, that would be the gameplay itself. The game starts you out at the scene of the crime, otherwise known as Congo Jungle. The first section or world of this game is a great introduction to the game as a whole. It throws enough at you without giving away all the game's surprises and secrets. Along with the Kremlings, you have to also take care of the locals who are after you as well, such as vultures, bees, snakes, aquatic life, and my good friend Cornelius. Thankfully for you, not all the locals are completely after you on this journey. On your trip, there are a few animal buddies that'll help you along your way, including Rambi, Ungarde, Winky, Squawks, and Espresso. And by the way, I'm not making up any of their names, these are the names the developers gave them. As for Espresso, Rambi, and Winky, they all have their own unique special areas that unlock when you collect 3 of the corresponding collectibles, and these special areas help you rack up lives. Level-wise, they all seem to fit the same aesthetic for each world. So for Congo Jungles, the levels look like a jungle area, except for the one water level, which makes sense, which establishes a nice level of consistency. And let me just say that this is one of the best game soundtracks along with Super Mario Galaxy in my personal opinion. I know it's my opinion, but a lot of people seem to agree. I think the thing that makes these levels so much better is that they feel like you're in an actual world where these platforming objects are more than just platforming objects. Most platformers have the tendency to have random shit everywhere for you to use as platforms, but in Donkey Kong Country they all feel like they belong there, with the exception of random barrels, but everything else is a part of the environment. Although bananas, the game's coin systems, and balloons, the game's live systems, are just hanging out in the open. Congo Jungle is what it says, it's a jungle. Levels are based in a jungle setting with everything being naturally occurring to that environment, obviously in context to the game. You can run into these places where the other Kongs reside, Cranky's home where he just bullies you, Funky's flights where he fast travels you to later sections in the game once you have them unlocked, and Candy's save points, which are something you'll take advantage of a lot in the later levels. Other than that, the jungle is free to roam collecting bananas and smashing reptiles to hell.
These are abandoned railways, my god. This is the old mining guild. I'm pretty sure. Look, there are the mines right there. Let's go visit.
Yeah, no way in hell I'm going in there.
Weirdly enough, besides the jungle, the other thing I would heavily associate with the Donkey Kong franchise is minecarts and machinery. It's not a relatively new thing either. The original arcade game had nothing to do with the jungle, instead taking place on a construction site. And after we kill the big Cornelius, we go right to Monkey Mine. Now remember how I said Congo Jungle doesn't show you everything the game has to offer? Well, one of those things is the minecart levels. Yeah, these levels are notorious for a reason. These are trial and error memory-based levels, and that's not to say that these levels are downright awful. In fact, they're actually really fun and intense. Think of it like a really hard Mario Maker level that takes more than one attempt to complete. It's all about rapid succession until you make progress, and once you finally do make that progress, it is very rewarding. This world has you going through a cave with it actually feeling you're going somewhere, making actual progress after each level. Winky Walkway and Minecart Carnage are the levels of you just entering the mines. Bouncy Bonanza and Stop and Go feel like you've made it far into the mines themselves. And let's just talk about Stop and Go for a second, because those Kremlins scared the shit out of me and the level is creepy as hell. And Milestone Mayhem feels like you just found an almost ruin-like structure after going through these treacherous mines, like an Atlantis-type location. After making some more progress up the DK Island, you're met with Vine Valley. Vine Valley is pretty consistent with most levels sharing a secluded forest type setting when compared to Congo Jungle's openness. I also like how many of the levels have you in these tree forts, almost like the Ewok villages seen in Return of the Jedi. Two returning level formats are the ruins of Tempest Temple and the watery depths of Clam City. This world makes you feel like you're discovering the unknown parts of a secretive forest. Again, let me preface the fact that although not all the levels share the same exact aesthetic, it all feels right in a sense. Nothing here feels out of place, not in context to the levels preceding and not to the map itself. It all feels neatly strung together.
I've left the mountain. I'm almost home. I'm almost. Maybe up the top. Shit! What the hell? God damn!
So we finally made it to the top of the DK Island, and what do we get for all that hard work? A generic winter world. What else would you expect, honestly? Honestly, it's nothing that special, but it's nothing that completely awful either. In fact, like everything else in the game, it all makes sense contextually and is pretty fun. Except for Snow Barrel Blast. God damn this level is complete and utter bullshit. Like, no shit, I honestly dread this level, and I'm not doing a bit here. I honestly fear this level every time I play this game. Maybe it's the game's way of saying, here's that difficulty boost you wanted, you jackass, but even then, the first half of the level is so easy. So, I mean, honestly, it doesn't make sense. The second half of the level concerns you doing barrel blasts, and they get more difficult after each one you do. There is a point, I shit you not, that you have to account for both Y and x-axis movement while calculating both Newton's law of motion and Pythagorean theorem all at the same time just to make a successful blast. And even then, it doesn't work 100% of the time. Other than that, the levels are good. Pretty standard, actually, now that I think about it. But hey, there's snow, that's gotta count for something. I will say, though, Slip Slide Ride, another level in this world, is a masterpiece of the eyes. Like, look at this level. It's so vibrant for a cave level, with such a fitting score that's both intriguing and ominous at the same time.
I'm almost home, bitch! Take that, Nintendo!
So for the sake of efficiency, not me being lazy, I swear, and because I usually lump these two worlds together anyway, I'm just going to talk about Kremkroc Industries and Chimp Caverns together. Both are very similar in a number of aspects. You know how I said earlier that I associate machinery with Donkey Kong? Yeah, well, this is probably why. Both share a lot of aspects involving machinery, and both feel like a goddamn gauntlet world, especially Chimp Caverns. Like, what the hell is this? These are easily the most stressful and difficult worlds in the game, but are just so rewarding when you beat each level. Again, I love the creativity of these levels, and both really test your skills of the game in very interesting ways. It's one hell of a lead up to the final boss. If the levels are this hard by the end, I wonder how the final boss is going to be. I'm starting to shit bricks, honestly. So, that K. Rool fight, it isn't as easy or as difficult as I made it out to be. It's got subpar difficulty, if I'm being honest with you. However, it just kind of seems like a letdown to the rest of the game. I was expecting an entrance compared to Bowser in Super Mario World. And for those of you who've played Super Mario World and have played through the Bowser fight, you know what I'm talking about. Even the music is just a silly pirate theme. Like, the Smash remix seems more fitting for it, and I would rather that over the music that we got here. After wounding K. Rool, he gives up, then fakes it, to which you hit him a few more times and then he finally gives up. So, not much there. There's character credits, which I don't really know why Super Nintendo games did this, but okay, who cares? And you get your bananas back, praying that these bastards won't try and do this again. I never said it would work, but you tried.
So that's basically Donkey Kong Country for you. Yes, I am leaving out the New Game Plus mode, but are you really losing anything without playing the New Game Plus? You're not really, are you? Listen, this game is definitely worth the play. It's very fun. Whether you're playing it on the original hardware, SNES Classic like I did, Virtual Console, or the SNES service on Switch, it's definitely worth the play if you do get the chance. You know, this whole journey's kind of made me think about how I proved it and really sticked it to Donkey Kong there. You know, I broke out of captivity, which you didn't think I would do. I made it back to this shithole, because all my shit's here, but I made it back. And you know what, from what I've been able to gather and calculate as of right now, I haven't done the complete research, it's about December 2020, but I'll have to get back to you on that. Now that I think about it, he's there, isn't he? What the fuck?